If we are ever to understand shoppers and influence them, which is after all the definition of shopper marketing, then we need to understand the fundamental concept in how humans process information, System 1 and System 2 thinking. Because the world is so incredibly complex and busy, we're kind of exposed to more than 20,000 products every single day. Nature has designed a whole set of decision shortcuts. So this is where System 1 and System 2 come in. It's a framework developed by Dr. Daniel Kahneman that you can read more about in the book Thinking Fast and Slow. So in System 1 mode, the brain processes information rapidly, intuitively, and subconsciously. So this is something we do all the time. Our System 1 processing helps us recognize familiar objects and process automatically. How are you feeling today? The first question that comes to mind was delivered via System 1. In System 2, on the other hand, the brain processes much more slowly and deliberately. We move into a more analytical mode. So we process more consciously with more reason. So System 2 is used to make more important decisions. For instance, when you're holding your newborn niece, you are 100% in System 2 mode because you are very conscious about what you're doing. So as human beings, we are using System 1 thinking a lot. The world around us is jammed with information. If we had to process all of this slowly and analytically, the time and energy required would be huge. Imagine how you might drive a car if you had to consciously note every single piece of information around you all the time. For instance, there is a car, there is a tree, then there is a sign, then there is another car, another tree, another sign, and the sun, etc., etc. It would be exhausting. System 1 processing allows our brains to shortcut a lot of information that is perceived as not relevant to the job at hand, and in this case it would be driving safely. So what has all of this System 1 and System 2 thinking got to do with shoppers and shopper marketing? So it turns out that when we're shopping, we use a lot of System 1 thinking. A lot of shopping environments are complicated and crowded places. A supermarket, for instance, may have tens of thousands of products and thousands of promotions, thousands of point of sale materials, etc., etc. From this mass information, a shopper needs to find a handful of products. So how do they cut through the clutter? They use System 1 thinking. Again, imagine that if you were in a supermarket, you had to consciously process every product and message around you to find what's most relevant to you. It would take forever, you probably wouldn't even make it through the entrance. So shopper psychology shows us that that as a shopper shops, they use System 1 processing to help them cut through the clutter of the store and find what is relevant to their mission. As also mentioned earlier, that 80% of the POSM is not even noticed or acted upon, and this fits very well with this reasoning as well. So how can we tap into the System 1 thinking with our shopper marketing? We can look into three brand metrics: brand awareness, brand connection, and brand consistency. For instance, with brand awareness, we can ensure that our brand is a famous brand, so it's a brand that comes readily to mind, and it must be a good choice then. We can also use brand connection. If I feel good about the brand, it must be a good choice. And then the last one is that it's the brand consistency. If I recognize it quickly by System 1, it must be a good choice. So these are three ways that you can tap into System 1 thinking with your shopper marketing.